Hello everyone, my name is Giselle Zendejas. Today I'm going to be presenting the movement analysis project for Kinesiology 205 class. So the movement analysis project, the movement that I decided on is the single leg reverse lunge. So this exercise is really good as it targets the lower body and it aids in improving a person's lower body strength, stability, and balance. The main muscles that are targeted during the single leg reverse lunge are the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, calves, and the core. So today I'm going to be analyzing three very important phases during the single leg reverse lunge. The first is the preparatory phase. The second is the execution phase, and the third is the follow-through phase. Within these three phases, we will be analyzing the shoulder movements, elbow movements, hip movements, knee, ankle, and trunk movements. Now we're going to analyze the preparatory phase. So today we will be using this image to represent our preparatory phase in the single leg reverse lunge. The right shoulder joint is currently extended, and this type of contraction would be eccentric. The major muscles involved in the right shoulder joint being extended is the latissimus dorsi, deltoid, teres major, and triceps. The left shoulder joint is also currently extended. This type of contraction is also eccentric, and the same muscles are involved: latissimus dorsi, deltoid, teres major, and triceps. Now, both the right and left elbow joint are currently in extension. Both of these movements are considered eccentric contraction. And in both, the major muscles are the triceps brachii and the ansoneus. Now, the right hip joint is currently flexed. This contraction is known as concentric. The major muscles involved are psoas major, adductor brevis, adductor longus, iliacus, and sartorius. The left hip joint compared to the right hip joint is currently extended. This type of contraction is known as eccentric. The major muscles involved are gluteus maximus, adductor magnus, and hamstrings. The right knee joint is currently flexed. The contraction is concentric, and the major muscles involved are the semimembranosus, biceps femoris, sartorius, gracilis, and gastrocnemius. The left knee joint, on the other hand, is in extension, and this contraction is known as eccentric. The major muscles are rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus intermedialis, and vastus medialis. The right ankle joint is in plantar flexion, and the contraction is concentric. Major muscles involved are the gastrocnemius, soleus, tibialis posterior, peroneus longus, and peroneus brevis. The left ankle joint, on the other hand, is in slight dorsiflexion, and the contraction is concentric. Major muscle involved is the tibialis anterior. The trunk, on the other hand, is in neutral position. It's only currently focused on stabilizing. The contraction is known as isometric, as the trunk is not moving or doing any active movements. And the major muscles involved are rectus abdominis, obliques, erector spinae, and transverse abdominis. Now, I'm going to be showing you guys live action footage of me doing the single leg reverse lunge, as I feel that watching somebody do the actions helps us understand better. I will also be showing you guys a side view of the preparatory phase. Now that we have finished analyzing the preparatory phase, we are going to move on to the execution phase. In the provided image, we see that both the right and the left shoulder joint are currently extended. The contraction is known as concentric, and for both, the major muscles and group involved are the latissimus dorsi, deltoid, teres major, and triceps. Both right and left elbow joint are also extended. also known as a concentric contraction. And the muscles involved in this are triceps brachii and ankylosing. Now, the right hip joint is currently flexed. This is a concentric contraction, and the muscles involved in this are the psoas major, adductor brevis, and longus, and iliacus. The left hip joint is currently extended, and this type of contraction would also be concentric. The major muscles involved are gluteus maximus, adductor magnus, and hamstrings. Both the right knee joint and the left knee joint are currently flexing, and they're both a concentric type of contraction. And both of the muscles involved in this are the semimembranosus, semitendinosus, biceps femoris, sartorius, gracilis, and gastrocnemius. Now, the right ankle joint is in slight plantar flexion, while the left ankle joint is in complete plantar flexion. Both are concentric type of contractions, and both muscles involved are gastrocnemius and soleus. Now, the trunk in this picture is also neutral, no movement, only stabilization. This type of contraction is known as isometric, and the major muscles involved are the rectus abdominis, obliques, erector spinae, and transverse abdominis. Once again, we will be watching footage of me doing the execution phase, both front view and side view. Now this is the side view. For the final phase of our single leg reverse lunge, we will be looking at the follow-through phase. In the picture, we see that both the right shoulder joint and the left shoulder joint are neutral. No movement is being done as the model is doing an isometric hold and maintaining the weights by his side. The muscles involved in this are the deltoids, rotator cuff muscles, upper trapezius, and rhomboids. Both the right elbow and left elbow joint are in extension. This type of contraction is eccentric. Muscles involved in this are triceps brachii and anteroneus. Now, the right hip is currently flexed, and this is a concentric movement. The psoas major, adductor brevis, and longus, and iliacus is involved. The left hip, compared to the right hip, is in slight extension. This movement is known as eccentric. The muscles involved in this are the gluteus maximus, adductor magnus, and hamstrings. The right knee joint and the left knee joint are currently extending. The contraction types for both are eccentric. The muscles involved for both muscles are rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus intermedialis, and vastus medialis. Now, the right ankle joint is neutral, no movement is being done, only stabilization. The contraction is isometric, and the muscles involved are tibialis anterior, gastrocnemius, and soleus. The left ankle joint, on the other hand, is in plantar flexion. This is concentric contraction, and muscles involved are gastrocnemius and soleus. Now, in this picture, the trunk is slightly extended. This is a concentric movement, and the muscles involved are erector spinae group, rotators, and semispinalis and quadratus lumborum. Thank you for listening to my lecture.